Sorry, let me restart that. It's a day. It's
Take a breath.
Day. It's a day. I had too much coffee. Okay, next time I will get decaf.
Hit it.
They're here.
Don't cross the streams.
Bueller.
I'll have what she's having.
Great Scott!
Why did it have to be snakes?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Bueller.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I'll be back. I am your father.
Bueller.
I feel the need for speed.
It's showtime.
Hello, my sister.
Hello, sister.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm better. I went to physical therapy yesterday after a full week of not having physical therapy. How are you? What's going on?
I'm good. I am tired after 3 cups of coffee today.
Jesus, tired after coffee.
Yes, because, you know, those 2 gremlins I own.
You
and all the jobs I do.
Don't feed them after midnight.
I try not to. But yeah, things are good.
Good.
Spring's here. Summer's coming around the corner.
Yeah, I always feel better when that happens.
I guess it's probably been a couple weeks since we've posted.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's how life is. So I'm excited to get this rolling again. Yeah. And I can't wait to talk about the worst movie ever that started off the 80s.
This is the real reason why we've delayed a couple of weeks, because we just, anyway, I'm just kidding.
It was, yeah, I mean, the other things too.
Oh, but yeah, no, first off, my apologies. I really did procrastinate quite a bit on Sophie because of this movie, let's be real. But then a minor situation came up and I had to jet out of town for about a week. And now I'm back and now we're all settled and here we are. So sorry about that.
The only thing is I wish it was a better movie to talk about because I forgot half the things, but don't worry, we'll get through this.
We do not talk about these movies before we start recording because we want our responses and our conversation to be as authentic as possible. And we do that, and we did that with this one too. However, I did text Sophie and asked her how she was doing with the movie because I hadn't watched it yet. And she said, quote, "I'm making my way through it." In chunks.
It took me like 3 days.
So I knew I was in for a treat. Yeah, I really didn't take very many notes on this one. My bad. Plus, I was high as a kite, so I don't really remember any of it. It was a coping skill, okay?
Definitely needed. Let's get right into this.
Welcome back to the Silver Screen Sisters. I am Billy.
And I am Sophie.
And here we are to talk about what might be the worst movie I've seen in a while. But it's also the first movie I've seen with Robin Williams since he passed. I'm not going to lie. Well, no, that might be a lie. I think I watched Aladdin.
That's different.
Yeah, but I think this is the first time I actually saw him since he passed because his death really hit me hard.
The whole world, basically.
Jesus Christ. And I have a hard time actually, sitting down and watching him in anything because it just, that kind of good heart and talent is just fucking gone. It's just, it kills me. Anyway, not to drag it down, but...
Real quick, what's your favorite Robin Williams movie?
Oh, Jesus.
You have too many.
I know. It's a tie between Good Morning Vietnam and Mrs. Doubtfire, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
Mine's Hook. I love Hook.
Oh, that's a good one, too. I feel like I'm forgetting every movie he's ever been in.
Prison barber.
Mother lover.
Nearsighted gynecologist.
In your face, camel cake.
In your rear, cow derriere.
Line, crying, spine, prine, ultra pig.
You lewd, crude, rude, bag of pre-chewed food dude.
You yelled out something.
I just yelled out Birdcage because the Birdcage, that might actually be my favorite movie.
That one's a great one.
Oh my God. If you guys haven't seen The Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane, just stop everything you're doing and go get that movie and just enjoy the treat that it is. I need to go watch it again, actually. Oh, so good.
So, speaking of least favorite Robin Williams movie.
Oh, Jesus. This is number 1 least favorite.
It was December 6, 1980, and this was directed by Robert Altman. and the music is by a guy named Harry Nilsson. I figured you probably looked into the music.
Yes, I did.
Because you had something to say about it.
Yep. Yeah, so Harry Nilsson was an American singer and songwriter. He did pass away in 1994. He was known more for like his overdubbing experiments that he would do. He liked fusing like Caribbean kind of sounds with music. He was a tenor. He sang a lot. He had a pretty decent range according to Wikipedia. And mostly he just worked with like pop and rock artists and stuff. So it's kind of interesting how he transitioned into making movie music. But this is one piece of information that I thought was really interesting. And I'm going to read directly from the Wikipedia page because I'm too lazy and I didn't write it myself. So there.
That's fine.
So during the 1986 press conference, the Beatles were asked what their favorite American group was, and they answered Nilsson. Sometimes called the American Beatle, he soon formed close friendships with John Lennon and Ringo Starr. In the 1970s, Nilsson, Lennon, and Starr were members of the Hollywood Vampires Drinking Club, embroiling themselves in a number of widely publicized alcohol-fueled incidents. Like, living their best life, dude. Like, for real. They produced one collaborative album, Pussycats. I need to stop everything and go get that album.
Different Pussycats group than what I know of.
Yeah, same.
Right?
Same. After 1977, Nilsson left RCA and his record output diminished. In response to Lennon's 1980 murder, he took a hiatus from the music industry to campaign for gun control. So that happened right after he composed the music for this movie, I believe.
Okay.
And for the rest of his life, he recorded only sporadically, blah, 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 blah. He ended up passing away from a heart attack while he was in the middle of recording what became his last album, Lost and Found, with 2 S's and 2 N's. Okay. Which, play on words with his name, Nilsson, Nilsson. But yeah, this dude was a dude. He was, God, he was awesome. He was also described as a pioneer of the Los Angeles studio sound and a crucial bridge between 1960s psychedelia and 1970s singer-songwriter era. Singer-songwriter era. Oh, he did win a couple Grammys as well for Best Contemporary Vocal Performance and Best Pop Vocal Performance. So
nice.
This guy's a badass. Anyway.
So he did good with his career.
And you know what? The things that I loved the most about this movie was Robin Williams and the music. I'm not going to lie. The music was it was fine. I really liked it. Okay. And that was pretty much all I liked. Well, there was more that I liked. There was more that I liked that I'm ruminating on. We'll get to it.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway.
Well, this is an example of a movie that was not that great, that I didn't care for the music. So it didn't catch on. I don't remember a lot of it.
There was some of the songs and stuff that I was you can cut that out. But on the whole, for a movie score, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Do you have any trivia for us?
I'm going to start with a little bit of Popeye history.
Okay. I looked up some of that too. And so I'm ready to hear what you have to say so we can chat about it.
Perfect. Well, YouTube was look at this awesome video, it was listening to me or something.
Oh, gee. I wonder how that does that.
Weird. But it was about a Popeye episodes that are banned or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
But it kind of went into the history. So Popeye was actually made in 1929. Mm-hmm. And it was in the comic. It wasn't originally his comic. It was a comic called Thimble Theater. Mm-hmm. And that started December 15th, 1919. And it was about coal and nana oil and castor and olive oil. So all of the oils.
Aw.
So with that, there was also, she had a boyfriend in the beginning called Ham Gravy or something.
Oh,
it was
yes.
so silly. So anyways, 10 years later, Popeye the Sailor is just introduced as a one-time character, and people just loved him.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The creator of this comic that turned into Popeye was E.C. Seeger. Mm-hmm. So people were like, sending snail mail because it was back in 1929.
1929, yeah.
Yes, because 10 years later. And he was just a sailor, and, like, his first thing was, like, I ain't no cowboy on what he said. And people just loved it. It was weird. It was a different time. So, yeah, he took over the show. Basically, they phased out the oil family. And so you'll see, like, Popeye and Olive. And then later on, because they made it into a cartoon after Popeye took over, the show actually lasted 108 episodes, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And when they thinned out the family and they put in, like, what's his name? Bruno?
Mm-hmm. Bluto.
Sorry. When they put in Bluto and that other guy, I'll get to the cast in a minute. But yeah, so when they, like, transition, this is the Popeye that you and I remember, because spinach also wasn't a thing in the beginning.
Oh.
But when that became a thing, spinach sales went up 33%. So that was something that came on later.
Yeah, I think actually they started using Popeye and his spinach shtick for advertisements later, I think.
Yes.
He was used as, like, propaganda material for the Allies in the Second World War, too, actually.
And it's funny that the video I was watching was talking about the banned video about World War II, where they totally stereotype the Japanese, and it's very offensive. And so I saw parts of it where I can see why.
Yeah,
so
right?
I'm glad that we have a sense to ban things that wouldn't do anything for our younger children,
Yeah, for sure. Like, good grief. They don't need to be learning that kind of behavior. Two things really quick that because what you said is like triggering some things with the movie. Because I remember watching the cartoons when we were growing up, and I really enjoyed Popeye. And so when the movie started, I was like, well, why the hell is this? What is this whole oil family? Like, I don't remember any of the oil family. And so that makes sense now, like with the origin of Popeye and all that stuff. It was focused, that cartoon or that comic strip was focused on the oil family. So now that makes a whole lot more sense. And number two, minor piece of trivia, but we, like Sophie said, Popeye was introduced in the comic strip in 1929. You want to take a gander at when Mickey Mouse was introduced in Steamboat Willie?
Oh, I don't remember.
1928. So they are pretty much the same age, and I think that's pretty freaking cool. Can you imagine if we had a Popeye land?
Well, they do. They do now.
They do?
Yeah, so I got some more things for you.
I'm ready.
What you said is true about, like, how it originates with the whole story, because critics say this movie was faithful to the original version.
It very much was.
Even though it sucked.
It was different.
But they did do, like, how the comic was, people bumping into each other, and, like,
the thing.
all the... It is very much like the comic. So that is, like, I get how that's an A+, but that wasn't an A+ for what they were going for,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think it was so experimental, and it just backfired.
Yes. The city is Sweet Haven.
Yes.
Right? So, fun fact, the Sweet Haven newspaper is called the Sweet Haven Daily Poop.
That's funny. What?
I know.
Like a poop deck situation? Because it's like a sailor town.
Well, everybody takes a daily poop. So I think it's just funny, the Sweet Haven Daily Poop. So.
Okay. That's funny.
I mean, they didn't have cell phones back then. So
yeah, the daily...
This is what they had for reading materials.
This is a reminder to everybody to disinfect your cell phones.
And your newspapers if you got them. So many of the citizens of Sweet Haven, especially those with more physical roles, they were recruited from European circuses.
Oh, now that's cool.
So that's where they recruit them, which is actually very smart.
Very smart, because, man, those guys can land. They land very well.
So most of the budget went towards this town, by the way. They did things like they had to put a 200 to 250 foot breakwater in it. So basically, so it doesn't flood.
Okay, yeah.
So they wouldn't flood the town. They had many sunken ships, but they were actually seaworthy vessels, as IMDb said, but they sunk them.
Well, why? Okay.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
All right.
So the Popeye set was actually turned into a theme park.
I want to go.
Sure.
Can we go? Where is it?
Let's see.
Is it live? Is it like active and shit? Like, let's go.
Well, it's in Malta.
Oh.
In
Well, there's a
Portugal.
problem.
Yeah, we can't go that far. But yeah, wherever it is, it's a themed amusement park, so people go and check it out all the time.
Dude.
So if we can find it, we should link it for sure.
Okay, I'll link it. Let me write a note.
It's funny. I read that and I didn't think to actually look it up. I just thought it was cool.
That's pretty cool. I'm like, well, shit. It's in Malta, though. That would be interesting to go.
Well, first of all, there's 17 cents new in town tax. And there's 45 cents rowboat under the wharf tax and $1 leaving your junk lying around the wharf tax.
So I kind of put all my notes everywhere because I watched it 3 different times.
I feel that.
But anyways, let's go into like the cast. You said right away Robin Williams. It was his first major role.
Yep.
Oh, he did Rick and Morty before, which was a TV show.
You mean Rick
Oh my god, I said Rick and Morty.
I was going to say Mindy. Mork and Mindy, you mean?
Mork and Mindy, yes, thank you. And then you had a hard time, but Rick and Morty sounds way better. Mork and Mindy.
Can you imagine if Robin Williams did Rick and Morty?
That would have been great.
Oh, God. Now I'm just sad again. God damn it. Okay, moving on.
This is a very up and down episode.
God damn it. I mean, yeah. Full disclaimer, we're going to be talking about Robin Williams. We're sorry.
All right. So also with Robin Williams, when they filmed his scenes, half of it, like, you couldn't understand. Like, they had to dub over what he was saying. And even then, without subtitles, I still didn't understand.
Me too. And there were some shots where, like, he would be talking, but the pipe head is over his lips, so you can't even see what his mouth is actually doing. So I'm like, well, where's the direction here? And how did anybody think that this was, like, audible?
Right.
I can't, like, it was just, they did him dirty on that one. I'm not gonna lie.
And he still did great in his career. So
I know.
Go him. So yeah, I didn't find a lot on Robin Williams. Obviously, we know who he is.
Yeah.
Y'all know who he is.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny because he was in The Shining with Jack Nicholson. He was interested in that part.
Oh, you know what's funny is, because every episode, Jack Nicholson, but we know what else is funny is Shelley Duvall was actually in The Shining with Jack Nicholson.
Well, stop giving all my things away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But also, you know what? Anybody that loves The Shining already knows this.
Oh, of course, of course.
But yes, you are correct.
Thanks, sister.
Yeah, so because we all know Shelley Duvall was just in The Shining, and that was like terrible for her.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know the history of that, like the director really abused that whole set and made them scared all the time. I'm not going to go into that movie because we haven't watched that one yet. But she did say that this one was so delightful and wonderful compared to The Shining. And I'm just like, okay, that's true.
And she really had a lot of fun with it. You can see that she had fun with it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, there are a couple of things. She did sing most of her songs, which I thought was good.
Yep.
She did say in interviews that she thought this was her strongest character out of other ones.
I can see that.
Yes, but in today's day and age, I'm like, she doesn't seem that strong now.
Yes.
After me watching Encanto 500 times.
I still haven't seen that.
You need to see that one. It is so good.
I need to be in a right mental state, I guess.
Fussy, you do Martha Graham, or Twyla, or Michael Kidd, or Madonna.
So yes, so she really liked this character, very strong for its times. One more thing I saw about her, I didn't really look into it, but she does, apparently in an interview with Dr. Phil in 2016, she says that Robin Williams is still alive. So I don't know where she is mentally right now.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe he did just pull, a Tupac. Or pulled an Elvis. Or whoever else who is not really dead. But you know what I mean. So I think The Shining really done fucked her up and other things in the spotlight. And I hope she's doing okay. I'm pretty sure she's still around.
Yeah.
So those are the two big main characters. This movie actually was the start of a lot of people's careers, right? Mm-hmm. So we saw, of course, Paul L. Smith, which is Bluto. Mm-hmm. He was in Dune, if you don't remember.
I do remember.
Same with Linda Hutt, who was the mom of the boxer.
That was so flippin' funny. That was pretty funny, I'm not going to lie.
Yes. You got Paul Dooley, who was Jay Wellington. Dennis Franz looks familiar. They just look familiar for being older, but for those, Linda, especially Linda Hunt and Bill Irwin's, these were their first cinema debut.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and Bill Irwin was Harold Hamgravy.
Oh, nice.
Which was Hamgravy was the original boyfriend in the comic strip, so see, it all comes around.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so that's basically it. I have maybe a couple randos. Let's see here. We'll just check the notes real quick, just in case, before we jump into the movie. Mm-hmm. Robin Williams did get hurt really bad. Got hit in the head with a can of spinach at the end when his dad throws it at him. He had to get several stitches on his scalp.
Oh,
God.
It was bad. That sucks.
Yeah.
Especially how ironic, though, the spinach can. Really. For Popeye. Oh,
I know.
I'm sure Robin Williams probably saw the humor in that, let's be real.
Probably. Or maybe it knocked some sense into him, why did I do this? It's too late now. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
There's a whole bunch of talk about Dustin Hoffman playing in this and that he had kind of a role in it, but I didn't look too much into it.
Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah.
Where the fuck was he?
He was invested in the movie. Well, first off, he was potentially one to play in Popeye.
Oh.
Yeah, Hoffman was a big part of it. I just don't really know his role. But then I like how they both were in Hook. So, making connections. It's who you know, folks. So, all right. Well, that's all my trivia. That's it. We done. We should get into this. And then we'll never have to talk about it again until you guys have questions for us.
Yes. Okay.
All right. We are ready. So the town. We see a town.
It's
quite cool. I want to visit.
Well, it starts off okay. So yeah, we see Robin Williams, Popeye, rowing a tiny ass little boat across the ocean. Is that really how he traveled all over the freaking world looking for his papa?
How do you think he lost his eye? I'm just kidding. I don't know. Or it's, it's... Well, his dad had it too, so I don't understand how that works.
I think it's a paralyzed facial nerve.
Those are some strong genes. I didn't know you could pass that.
I didn't know either, but, cartoons. But then the only thing I could really liken the beginning to, which was so funny, is the cliche quote, "It was a dark and stormy night." And that's legit how he arrives into town. And that was so funny.
Started off strong.
Started off
promising. So this cute little town Popeye shows up in, and he is greeted to a tax guy because there's taxes on everything.
There was a lot of funny bits in this movie because you're an adult and the tax guy taxing you for everything. That was pretty fucking funny. I'm not going to lie. And the names that he would make up for the taxes, that was funny. Mm-hmm. Basically, this movie was legit a verbatim live action of a Popeye cartoon. So you have all the weird falls and the weird running things and the just weird cartoony shit that happens that you think, oh, that's it's legit not even physically possible to do some of these things. And,
but they do it.
But they do it, and it's a feat, sure, but it's uncomfortable because we're not used to seeing a live action cartoon like that.
And everybody acting like they're teenagers in high school, look at that stranger. Yeah. And talking it. Yeah.
It was weird.
It's hard to combine a cartoon like that to real life comedy. So, anyways, that happened. the tax guy. They're walking through town. I mean, it kind of had a Belle feel, like from Beauty and the Beast. They're all talking about him as he's just like
As he's walking
muttering. And then, and he finds a room for rent.
He stumbles into it because the Oil family were like completely oblivious about the stranger in town. And he's like, hey, do you have a room? And before she even realized who this guy is or that there's like sus things about him, according to the other villagers, she's like, yeah, come on in. And then she realizes, probably shouldn't have let him in. Oh, well, too late. And then,
Well, and that's where I'm confused is like, you guys all live there if you have a room for rent and you know everyone. Shouldn't she have known that this wasn't somebody?
I know. It was weird. And like, if she has rooms for rent for traveling passengers, for traveling people, why would they discriminate? Like, it just didn't make sense. Anyway, we'll move on.
Well, we move on to meet Olive, who is so funny. This part was actually hilarious.
Oh, my
because
God.
she's like, this is ugly, and this is ugly. They want me to be ugly.
She's such a little brat. I was like, I love it.
Such a brat.
God.
Anytime, that was another trivia thing I read. Anytime that they told her to apologize, she would be like, what? Or only say like, what back?
That's funny.
So she was definitely brat material. And then she like looks at him. What are you listening to me, mama? Like, whoa.
And then I think, didn't she call him ugly or something ugly? Or I don't even know. But anyway,
her
everything
whole
was
attitude was ugly. And that's why I'm like, strong character.
Her whole attitude was ugly. A+. Yes.
But she was stronger. She was a strong character compared to like I have to bring it back. The Shining, her character, I feel so bad because feeling that vulnerable and like little and weak all the time. This is a strong character compared to The Shining that she had to deal with.
Gotcha. I have never seen The Shining, so
it's so great.
I know
it scared the shit out of me. But
God, see, that's why I'm nervous.
Better.
That's why I'm nervous every time you pull a movie out because it's probably going to be some freaking horror movie, and I'm going to fucking just pee my pants on the couch.
Oh, you don't do horror?
No.
I used to do it a lot back in the day.
I remember. I would always leave.
I have to be in a good mood. If I get an 80s movie, first off, it won't be as scary as ones now. And I have a whole crowd of friends that'll come watch it with me and make fun of it together.
That's fun.
We have practiced this for years.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so I didn't write very many notes because I just wanted this movie to be over with as soon as possible. And so I wrote, it's a musical? 400 question marks. And then the next line, the fuck is this? 100 question marks. And then I wrote, I was like, I'm either too high or not high enough for this shit.
That's tough. Right?
It was a tough call. Like, I didn't know, man. But anyway, we prevailed. And so I really did love like the characterizations they did with the with the characters too. I mean, they had like the prosthetic forearms for Robin Williams' Popeye. Olive Oil, Shelley Duvall herself is just a perfect characterization of Olive Oil because she's really tall and thin and her hair was perfect and her like just marching around and like just the character. And then we had Wimpy. Wimpy was the hamburger dude. And he was freaking perfect, like with the bowler hat and stuff. And then just all these little things. They just nailed all of the costuming and the how all these characters looked. I felt like they really nailed that. And that, that was great.
All right. Olive Oil shows Robin Williams to his room. I don't know why I said it that way. Olive shows Popeye to his room.
Yes.
And then he gets ready, and I can't remember if they all sit down together or if he first goes into town to the diner.
Shit, I don't remember.
Okay, because my pictures says that, like, he got there, cleaned up, and it looks like he went back down to, like, one of the diners.
Oh, he went down to the dining room, and they all ate dinner. Because it was nighttime.
Right, but it shows him somewhere else before. I don't know why I have that in my pictures then. Like he's talking to somebody, and it's the bullies that comes after. Remember when he fights the bullies?
Yes. Yeah, he was in a pub.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he is in a pub for a minute, and I'm pretty sure that's where he talks more about his him trying to find his dad.
Yeah, because
this was something that was not in the comic or the episodes that I saw. So he's looking for his dad that just, I guess, gave him away when he was younger.
Yeah, something weird,
a little
dude.
confused on it.
Me too.
I wasn't buying it. And then that night, it is a dinner thing for Bluto.
I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I say. You know what I mean.
So I also just want to say one more thing, which is I think why I stopped taking notes, because I got everything I needed to get by this point in the movie.
Right.
I wrote here that this is like the most depressing town I've ever seen in my life, even though the architecture was great. But it was a really fucking depressing town.
Sorry to laugh at that.
I know, but it's really funny. It's such a depressing... That's what got me about this movie. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Everything about this movie, you know, the colors were drab, the dialogue was so, like, being taxed to death and all these things. Like, all of it was really depressing. He's going to find his father. And like, he's been abandoned as a child. You know, he has abandonment issues. And like, it was just such a really depressing concept and depressing cinematography, and just everything looked so depressing, but it was still a cartoon. So it was like this depressing cartoon. And that, I think, is what really got me, because that was like, those two things don't mix.
Right. But then they go on and find this baby and they just start raising it.
Yeah. Like
there's things that, wait a minute. So before we find this baby, though, because we're introduced to Bluto, which I always thought it was Bruno. I don't know, but Bluto.
Yeah.
And, you know, they could not make him more dumb and not...
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I get it, exactly like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Or the comic, but... And then her song about, like, he's all hers, I could not. That one was so whiny.
Not.
Bluto's special?
Oh, he's special, all right. Especially ugly.
He's tall, good looking, and he's large. He's large.
I feel like we're halfway through it already, guys.
Something. God, we need to be halfway through.
All right. Well, which is fine. So we find out Bluto is dumb, and he, like, plays the little game, like, she loves me not, with picking the flower.
Oh, Jesus.
She's like, look at how great I am, but then, like, dips out, bye friends, and leaves. And then finds a baby with Popeye. So, of course, do you think that's going to look great coming back home, right? You know?
I have to squeeze him each night to keep him warm.
We just have to take care of this baby because we both found him. And it's like, that's what it feels like. Yes. And she always talks like this. Why do clothes want to make me feel ugly? I'm so ugly.
That's a damn good impression, dude. Nicely done.
I should be the next Popeye. And yes, I should be the next Olive Oil.
Yeah, right?
Look at there, Olives. He's got my eye.
He does not have your eyes. He's got my eyes. He's got your mouth.
Does he, damn. One day, Sweet Peas, he's gonna go to school and bust bigger kids in the mush. Yeah, you like that, don't you? Yeah.
And we'll move into a vine-covered cottage on a shady lane. And we'll garden together. And we'll play house.
Sorry, there was a part around this time, I think, when Robin Williams is talking to the baby. Popeye is talking to the baby. He's playing with the baby. And he basically just, like, is improvising off of the baby.
It was so cute. Like, what do you do with that?
Awesome. And I was like, dude, this is the best part of the whole movie. Just seeing Robin Williams improvise off of the baby. I was like, I'll watch that all day long. That was hilarious. It was so good and cute. Anyway, go ahead.
I think that's why I like Hook so much with all the kids. You just know he was probably so good with kids.
Oh, easy.
Even though I'm wondering if his kids feel the same way. You know how it's different with our own parents? I wonder.
I'm pretty sure Zelda, his daughter, has confirmed, like he was the best dad. I
was going to say, he gave her the name Zelda.
I mean, for reals.
He is the best.
Like, right?
Where was I?
Babies and Bluto coming after.
Oh, yeah, because Bluto gets hopping mad, and he just starts, like, beating everybody up and breaking down their place. So that I was like, okay. And they show back up with the baby, and Popeye's like, you guys do know how to throw a party because everything's broken. And then Bluto goes after Popeye.
Yep.
And I took screenshots of him tumbling down the bridge because, he gets hit and then you just see this wheel of a person.
Yep.
I'm like, come on. It was so dumb. I had to rewind it 3 times and I kept laughing every time I watched it. I was like, why did I think this would pass off? But
well, I mean, you laughed.
I did after watching it and taking pictures. But yeah, so they fight, and then I don't even know how it stops, but he leaves. And then it's war. Like, Bluto's thinking, like, what can I do? And it seems like this isn't where they find out Sweet Pea. That's the baby. Sweet Pea is lucky.
I think so, actually, because then they take the baby to, like, the horse races. Like, Wimpy decides,
No, not the horse race. This is what it is. So next is we get a quick snippet on getting ready for the fights.
Oh, that's right.
And so we go to the fights, and that's another thing. I'm like, they just bring their baby to a fight.
I mean, I would. I'm just kidding. I would not.
And I think the tax guy was like, all illegal fighting tax or something.
That's funny.
It's like, why are you here?
Yeah, right?
But yeah, so they go there, and I think Sweet Pea, like, called...
Yeah.
Something. I don't know, but they find out she's lucky. And in this fight, so it's Castor Oil is fighting.
Oh, that's right.
The other person that
the
wins.
brother.
Yes. So all his
Castor
brothers
Oil.
fighting.
Jesus.
And
Good names.
It seemed like the other guy was cheating or something.
Yeah.
And Popeye was like, this will not do, and has to jump in there. No spinach yet, too. I was like, come on.
Yeah, right?
Where's the spinach?
I was waiting for that the whole goddamn movie. And spoilers, it happens at the very fucking end. And I was like, no, I needed more than that.
But also, I'm okay with that because who eats canned spinach? Ugh.
I really love the fact that he, like, legit hated spinach before his dad was like, no, you need to swallow this. Just suck it up, man. Swallow
it's like
it.
A toddler.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And I was like, Sophie's going to say something about it.
Well, it's like Eli with soup. I'm like, eat your soup. No. Don't even try it. And I make some good soup sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not a big soup person. It depends. I have to be in the mood or sick.
Yeah. So Popeye gets in there and he wins and even hits the guy's mom in the face.
Oh, that was so
Linda
funny. Yeah, that big wrestler dude. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, and I guess somehow Sweet Pea called this. I don't know.
I asked Sweet Pea, Sweet Pea, will Popeye be killed? No? So then I asked, Sweet Pea, will Popeye be seriously maimed? No?
That's 2 for 2. That could happen anyway,
Yeah. So then I queried, Sweet Pea, will Popeye actually survive?
Yeah, survive. What? Yeah.
You mean he'll win? Oh.
That's a neat trick. Me infant is a psychic of prophets.
So now, the fight is done with. They're feeding Sweet Pea. And then, of course, I lost the one thing I had. Hold on. What's his name?
Wimpy.
Wimpy, thank you. J. Wellington Wimpy. He shows up and snatches the baby. And he takes it to the horse races.
Which are not actual horses, which was funny.
Right, just like the cartoons.
Yep.
So yeah, he's just like okay with stealing a baby from these two that honestly got a free baby.
No kidding, right?
Well, I just like how they find him so fast.
I know,
and
right?
Right away, like, Popeye was like, how dare you? And
Yeah.
Olive was like, well,
I know.
maybe, you know.
The moral ambiguity there, like,
Yeah.
I mean, but if I had a baby that, like, did that for me, fuck yeah, I'd use it.
Why am I not rich? Why don't I have $1 million? So, but yes, so they take him out, but, like, Bluto is there. And it seems like Bluto ends up stealing the child.
I know. Like,
he steals the kid, but Wimpy knows that Bluto. They were like working together. So
yeah, what the fuck?
So Olive, this is her time to shine. I see why she was like, I am a strong character, because Popeye is like, I lost my baby. And she's like, he needs me, and you know.
But it's like cool that they have like their strengths and their weaknesses and how much they complement each other. That's really cool.
Yeah. So anyway, she goes and plays on a bridge very dangerously with Wimpy.
I know, right?
She's like, where's the kid? Like,
right?
Let's shake us off this bridge.
Right. Like, what? I mean, I think I remember something very similar in the cartoons. I'm not going to lie. I remember also Sweet Pea getting into some dangerous shit.
I remember Sweet Pea smiling more and actually, like, crawling up to places.
Crawling everywhere.
Obviously, you can't do that with the live action.
With the biggest outfit on, whatever that thing was. Like, a big old dress, I guess, that he was it a he or a she?
Oh, it's a he.
Okay.
And I don't know what they're called, but they're like sleeping things.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway.
Baby snuggies. I don't know.
Baby, yeah, pretty much.
I want a baby snuggie. Oh, and then the plot twist, we find out that Bluto somehow has hired this guy that is exactly Popeye, but, 30 years older.
Mm-hmm. And he basically runs a crime syndicate in this shitty ass town. Like, what the fuck?
And nobody thought this, like, he was related when he came in. Like, oh, that new guy, he must be related to that crime lord over there in his
because
boat.
He looks exactly the same.
Right. I don't remember exactly what Bluto and the guy was talking about, but it turns into where Bluto goes on the run with just the baby and Olive. How does that transition happen, right?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Well, all of a sudden, I think Bluto leaves Popeye's dad and is like, peace out, I'm not paying you or something. And then Popeye finds his dad.
Yeah, you're right.
Popeye's like, I love you. And his dad's like, I hate you.
It's
like,
very,
it's very interesting.
It is not a very happy reunion.
All right. So now we've got Bluto taking Olive and Sweet Pea. And we've got Wimpy, Popeye, and his dad, and I think one or two other people, I think sailors, following them. And there was this one part, this was the first Disney movie to say the word shit in it.
I actually wrote down the word shit. And I was like, what the fuck?
You couldn't have missed that.
Yeah,
He's like diving in the water. Shit!
Yeah, right.
It's like, whoa. So yeah, there's that. So they go find his dad's buried treasure, which is spinach. That's what Bluto was going to go find. That's what it was. He's like, oh, a buried treasure, and it was spinach. So, what else? Okay, so on the way to bury treasure, he finds it, but then there's a big octopus in it.
Fucking octopus!
And it's not very climatic, but
they needed the Muppet guys to come in and do that octopus.
It would have been better if it was the plant from Little Shop of Horror.
For real, though. Right? But then, they should have absolutely, roped them in to do the octopus, because that would have been badass. Anyway.
Yes, but they fucked up and used all their budget on the town.
I know, the depressing-ass, wonky town. Anyway.
So, I mean, basically, I don't know what else to say. They win. He finally gets spinach in his mouth. What else is there?
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish, 'cause I eat my spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
All right, so here's the fun part about this, because I think we've said it all. What would you rate this?
Fuck!
My sister. On a scale from fuck to 10. What would you scale this masterpiece?
Okay, I'm going to give it a 1.
Cool.
I want to give it a 2 just for Robin Williams, but I can't. I can't. I feel like I have to give it a 1, and it's only getting a 1 because of Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
It was very
Rock
depressing.
on. See, I'm afraid something worse is going to come out. I'm like, should I give it a 1 or a 2?
I mean,
because
yeah.
You sold me on some things. Like, the town is good.
Yeah, the town is funny. And, you know, they really nailed the cartoony aspects. Okay, I'll give it a 2.
Let's go with 2 this time.
All right.
Because we don't know what's going to be worse.
I will say they really did put a lot of effort into this movie. I mean, like, the not special effects, the stunt doubles, the stunt guys were amazing.
The circus freaks.
The circus.
I'm totally kidding.
Was great.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of good actors came out of this. Like,
I just really wish it wasn't so depressing for a cartoon. And they needed to work on the story a lot more, because why the fuck did his dad even leave to begin with? Like, and like, it just even psychologically, it doesn't make sense. But whatever. Maybe it was a thing in the cartoons or
maybe
the
it was an episode. We just don't remember.
We just don't remember it because they followed that cartoon and the comics so closely. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt that it was part of that. But yeah, other than that.
Okay, next question. Do you think they could remake it today?
No.
I agree with that because, like, it's just so outdated to me.
But, like, the idea of just a sailor. Oh, God,
We've progressed too much as a civilization.
I don't, if they did, I don't even know what genre it would fit in.
Okay, they would have to do it like Shrek. Animated.
Yes.
But funny for adults. Boom.
Yes.
Fixed it.
There you go. All right, you fixed it. That's great, actually. I was also kind of, actually, that's a perfect solution. Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. You need John Lithgow in that movie. If we, John Lithgow could be the dad. Oh, it would be so good. Man, who would we have in the cartoon voicing the cartoon and stuff? Ooh.
Well, I pick Olive. Exactly. All right. Well, speaking of Popeye Never Again.
Yes, please. Bye-bye, Popeye. Thank you for an experience.
Service.
Thank you for your service. May God have mercy on your souls if you choose to watch this movie.
All right.
Oh, God. Okay, new movie.
We haven't done this in a while.
Please do not be a horror movie. God damn it.
I hope it's a horror movie.
Ugh!
All right, we're watching Three Fugitives, 1989.
Three Fugitives. Okay. I gotta write that down. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Have you?
It's not coming to mind, but it's right there, and I'll look it up later.
Well,
I don't think it sounds like a horror movie.
No, I think I should look it up right now so we can tell the listeners who may not know. We should probably do that for all of the movies. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, but if we don't know, we don't know. They'll know. And they'll be like, yes, I can't believe they're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then other people, if they want to follow along with us, they will.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true.
I mean,
okay, well, yeah, let's not talk about it.
I'm just looking forward to it not being a horror film.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You are probably disappointed, let's be honest.
Sister, we should give them some of our information.
Yes.
That I always forget. And then last minute, I'm like, remember everything and tell them.
I got this. Don't worry. I got this.
You.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, if you guys have an experience with Popeye that you want to share, go ahead and email us. Or if you have an experience with any of these movies that we've seen so far, like we would love to hear your stories, what you loved about the movies, what you hated about the movies. If you have some insight on these plots or these characters or the actors behind it or anybody, we love that kind of stuff. And we love trivia just in general. So just send us your emails. Don't be shy. Our email address is connect, CONNECT, at silverscreensisters.com. And if you go to our website, www.silverscreensisters.com, you'll also see there is a contact form on there, which goes directly to our inboxes as well. We have socials pretty much everywhere. We got to streamline some of those handles.
One day we're going to streamline our handles.
Yeah, one day. But yeah, you can find us on Facebook. We have a page and a group, so don't get confused if you really want to join the group. Where I post some funny stuff sometimes and Sophie posts some funny stuff sometimes. And it's not, we'll get more active on there. Come and join us. Let's have fun. So I think that's it. Is that it?
I think that's it. That was perfect.
So.
Thank you, sister.
Woohoo! Thank you, sister. Thank you for leading the way on this one because clearly I don't really remember this movie.
It's okay. It was hard, but we did it.
We did it! And we did it in pretty good time, too, even with all the interruptions and stuff. Yeah!
Perfect. Well, I actually have to go because my life never stops.
Yep,
and I have an hour. So.
Yep. All right. Well, have a good afternoon, and I will talk to you later.
You too. Love you, sis.
Love you, sis. Okay,
bye.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, check out our website at silverscreensisters.com. Silver Screen Sisters 80s edition is hosted by Billy and Sophie. Editing is done by Sophie, and cover art was done by Billy, with special illustration work done by Bacencia. Intro and outro music composed by Future Mono, and hold music composed by the Mini Vandals. This is a Silver Screen Sisters production and is powered by Coffee and Yoga Pants.